Hello everyone and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So unfortunately, I just finished recording the same exact video, but my mic on my controller was muted, and so that actually mutes my whole mic. So all the audio I just recorded, it was like a 15-minute video of me just talking, just got muted. So that's all gone. That's unfortunate. So we're going to do a redo, and I'm probably going to be a little bit more brief. You guys wouldn't know anyway, but yeah. So like I said, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about the two new character banners that just came out at the same exact time. This is the first time this has ever happened, where we got two characters at the exact same time. Normally it's just one banner and then you wait for the other one. So I'm very surprised that this happened. I will be covering all three banners: the weapon banner, the two character event banners. I'll be talking about both characters, Eula and Albedo, and be covering their pros and cons, the certain, pretty much pros and cons of whether or not you should summon for them. I don't have Eula, so I can't go too in-depth about what makes her bad, because I don't know, really. Albedo I do have, so I can talk a little bit more about him, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this intro. Let's just get right into the video. Alright, so to start things off, we're going to talk about my guy, Albedo. So actually, instead, let's cover the 4 stars on these banners. So both banners have the same 4 stars. Kind of surprising. Didn't really expect that. But I guess if they drop them at the same time, they're going to use the same 4 stars. So Bennett, being the first 4 star that we see here, is the best support in the game. I don't think anyone can really deny that. He increases your damage output by a ton and heals you like crazy. Bennett's run on almost every single meta team, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about him. For constellations, go for C1 for Bennett. Anything else, you don't need it. It's just, I guess, easier. If you get C5 Bennett and you happen to pull C6 right after, don't C6 Bennett. Don't recommend doing it, because then you can't use him with Eula, so you lose out on that. Eula doesn't really need Bennett, to be honest, but it is nice to get that higher damage numbers. For Noelle, I would like to say that she's an okay 4-star. Like, she's not terrible, but she's not too great either. Like, she's okay. With Constellation, she does get much stronger, and she is a good shielder and a good healer if you don't have either of those. If you don't have a shielder, I guess go for Noelle. But don't just go for one 4-star. Never ever do that. You will probably never pull the character, and then will be down tons of Primo Gems. But if you're looking for the 5-star and the rest of the 4 stars on this banner, or at least 2 of them, go for it. For Rosaria, she is actually a pretty good 4-star support and a 4-star sub DPS. She has really good talents and also great constellations. So for Rosario, both constellations, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. The same thing with Bennett and Noelle too. So for this banner, it has actually 2 great 4-stars and one good. I mean, both 5-stars are really good. So yeah, that's it. I have to cover about 4 stars. So now let's talk about my dude Albedo first. I'm just gonna quickly pull him up over here, so we can cover his build. So with the new artifact set we just got, Albedo got a huge buff, because this 4-piece set gives him defense. Oh, here we go. 4-piece set gives him defense and geo damage as well, and I'm pretty sure he can stack all of it, so he gets all the maximum bonus of it. So that's really good. Albedo scales with defense with the Solar Isotoma, so it's good. It's great all around. So this is just a huge DPS increase. If you want to know how to build him, now it's going to be that 4-piece set, obviously, and give him a Geo Cup and a defensive Sands with a crit rate, a crit damage piece, and then your Flower and Feather don't really matter. Just look for defensive stats and crit damage, and that's it, because that's all he needs. Yeah, if you can't get this 4-piece set, then just do 2-piece Petra or 4-piece Millilith, but honestly, just go for the 4-piece set. Husk of Opulent Dreams. Go for that set, because it's going to be his best in slot now. For constellations, don't pull for them. They're a waste of time. Yeah, the only thing, like I said, okay, I might be stretching a little bit, but the only thing I can say you should go for is C2 if you have C1, because C2 is pretty good. But it's none of his constellations are huge DPS increases, and they're not really worth it at all, in my opinion. But I'm sure everyone else can agree on that. His talents, obviously, this gives him scales of defense, and this is his big damage increaser because you place this down, and it's a radius, and every time you attack, every 2 seconds it procs geo damage, and it's AoE. Like I said, anyone in the radius gets hit by it, and it scales with defense, so it can get really really high, depending on your defense. His two passives are good. This one gives him more damage on people who are higher or who are more than or who are below 50% HP, and this gives you EM after you ult. So it's good when you're running him with people that need reactions or are reaction-based main DPSs. For example, Hu Tao. You get that extra little bit more of Elemental Mastery, increasing your damage by a ton. For weapons, he has a new 4-star weapon that we're about to get for free in one of the events that you can max refine, which is his best in slot now compared to the Harbinger of Dawn. You can't go wrong with the Harbinger of Dawn. It's still really good, but with that new 4-star that's coming out, use that instead. And yeah, he's very free to play friendly. Artifacts, his artifact domain is also really easy. I wouldn't say really easy, probably just annoying, but it is honestly relatively easy. Just get a healer, you'll be fine. Yeah, as far as that covers him pretty much. He's a good character, solid sub DPS. You can run him on basically any team. Can't go wrong with that. And with the new Geo characters that we're about to get, Geo's probably going to be the best element in the game because with that General guy and Aritaki Ito, the General 4-star support pretty much buffs Geo the more Geo characters you have on the team. So that's why Geo's going to be really, really strong. And Albedo already just got 2 buffs with the new set and his new weapon. So yeah, that covers pretty much everything you need to know about Albedo. His cons being the fact, his only cons really are the fact that he's not really a main DPS, and you can't really, if you like the character a bunch, you can't use him on the field that much because he's just gonna hit R2 and swap out. So he's as relatively like gameplay wise, he's not that crazy. Like he doesn't have any cool mechanics really, other than the fact that his solar isotoma is pretty cool. Like it looks cool. And yeah, that's, like I said, that's pretty much it. That's all I got to cover about him. As to whether or not I will be pulling for him or for constellations, that's going to be a no because I already have a max constellation Bennett, and I don't care for Rosaria that much or Noelle, and I don't need constellations on Albedo. Don't have enough pulls to pull for him anyway. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to talk about Eula now. So Eula is a very, very good 5-star hyper carry. I don't have her, like I said, so I'm gonna just pull her up here so you guys have a nice little image. You guys, or something you can look at. As well, so let's talk about her weapon. So her best weapon is gonna be the new weapon, the Song of Broken Pines. I think that's what it's called. Let me see. It's her best in slot. Yeah, it's the Song of Broken Pines. Use that. If you can get it. And then also the Wolf's Gravestone is pretty good, but that's really like the only other 5-star weapon you can really use on her. 5-star weapons are okay, like even the Skyward Blade or the Skyward whatever, that Skyward 5-star is okay, but honestly just if you can get the Song of Broken Pines or use the Wolf's Gravestone. If you don't, the next 4-star weapon is going to be really anything with crit rate or crit damage or attack percent, literally any claymore. I mean, you guys can find them out, but yeah, for 4-star weapons, literally any of those 4-star weapons that you can use, like the battle pass one or the freaking dude, I don't know, it's been so long since I played this game, so I can't even think of the name of it, but it's a Blackcliff. Yep, that's what it is, the Blackcliff claymore, Blackcliff slasher. That one's okay. It's not that great, but you can't go wrong with it. Alright, so let's talk about her. As to her being free to play friendly, not really, because, well, nah, I'm wrong. Ignore that. She is very friendly because she does already so much damage. You don't need like a crazy 5-star weapon to get that output out of her. It does give her a huge increase in damage, obviously, but it's not needed. For constellations, she gets better with more of them. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. As to which ones you should pull for, I guess one is okay. Can't go wrong with that. That's more damage. Anything else is not really a must pull. If you're at C5 Eula, I don't know why you have a C5 Eula, but if you're at C5 Eula, then go for C6. That's the best constellation that she has. But as constellation wise, like herself, Eula just gets stronger with more of them. Her talents, the way they work is her ult, you press triangle and then you attack and you build stacks. The more stacks you have, the more damage you do at the end of your ultimate, because your sword then slashes and then does that damage at the end. So that's what allows her to be a nuker pretty much, and her ult nukes, because you can, if you build tons of stacks, the scaling just gets higher, even like crazy. She is a great, like I said, a great physical main DPS carry. She's the best one in the game because there's no one else to rival her, and yeah, no one comes close to her nuking and her damage that she outputs. For talent, she has pretty good talents, or for passives, pretty good passives. Can't go wrong with them. Uh, yeah, she's free to play friendly. She has good constellations. She has good talent. She's a great carry. It can run on pretty much any team. Like, she's very easy to support. You can give her a Bennett or give her really even run her with Albedo if you wanted to. You don't need to, but you go Eula, Raiden, Bennett, and maybe Diona or Fischl, or I don't know, something for super conduct, so you can lower res and you'll be fine. But she doesn't really need all that because she does so much damage already. As to her cons, I guess it has to be the fact that she takes up almost all the time on the field, pretty much, because that's how you get all the damage out of her, using her. So, but if you like Eula as a character, I don't really see that as a con. So, as to whether or not I will be pulling for Eula, again, that's going to be also a no. I have so many main DPSs that I don't need another one. So, and I already have Albedo, so I'm not going to pull for another constellation. It's not worth it. I don't even have enough pulls for it. What you guys should do is, if you already have a ton of main DPSs and you don't have Albedo, pull for him because he's going to be really good. And if you have Jean League 2, even better. And with all those new Geo characters about to get, you can't go wrong with pulling for him. For Eula, if you already have Albedo or you don't want Albedo, then go for Eula if you don't have any other main DPSs. As to whether or not these characters are must pulls, in my opinion, I think Albedo is going to be now with the new set and his dedicated weapon. And Eula, honestly, is kind of must pull, but not really. She's not like she's broken, yeah, but there's other DPSs that can do the same thing as her. Maybe not nuking, but can put out as much damage as she does. Similar, like Hu Tao, Xiao, Ganyu, just naming a few. For weapons, this is honestly a really good weapon banner. I mean, the 4 stars are okay. Dragon's Bane being okay. I mean, these are all like Dragon's Bane is good for Hu Tao, but the rest of them decent 4 stars. These 2 new 4 stars I think are pretty good. And I guess what I like to say is both of these 5-star weapons are really good as well. The Freedom Sword is good on Kazuha, as from what I've seen. I don't know how good it is on Albedo. And the Song of Broken Pines is the best in slot for Eula. If you already have Eula and you don't want Albedo, or you had both of them and you're not going to pull for Constellations, go for the Weapon Banner, because if you don't get the Song of Broken Pines, you will get the Freedom Sword, and the Freedom Sword is good. So, you can't go wrong. The Freedom Sword can also be run on Kazuha. So if you have Eula Kazuha, don't want Albedo, go for this. The best weapon banner you're going to see for yourself. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I really appreciate all you guys that do watch my videos and subscribe and also like and comment. I try to respond to every single one of them as long as they're not spam. I think that's, I mean, I'm not going to respond to spam. There's no point. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys